What if I told you that you could buy into one of Melbourne's most socially desirable suburbs for under $600,000? Today, I'm revealing why savvy investors are quietly snapping up older homes in Sunbury before everyone else catches on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of PropSpotter. PropSpotter, the smarter way home. We help you find great suburbs and areas to purchase your next investment property in for a very, very low price. Now, are you on a budget? Do you have the ability to get a little bit handy? Well then, this suburb in Melbourne may be suitable for you. Today, we're talking about Sunbury. Sunbury is located 40 kilometers away from the Melbourne CBD. Sunbury has a lot of vacant land around it, but also can present many strong opportunities. It is a town centre with its own V line train station and termination of a metro train station, Woolworths, Coles, and a couple of shopping centres and cinemas as well. It's also home to some prestigious schools like Salesian College up here, and is, in general, from an owner-occupier perspective, a fairly desirable area in the west of Melbourne. It's got close proximity to the airport. You can get from Sunbury to the airport in under 25 minutes. If you look at Sunbury, there is a very specific brief that you would have to look at, and I will talk about this further down the conversation. So keep watching till the end if you'd like to find out. As always, my ability to make this video relies on viewers like yourselves. So if you like the content that you're seeing me put out, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Sunbury has a current median of $834,000. However, if you're on a budget below $600,000, don't let that scare you. The yield is 3.05 and the rent is $490. We may have to jump back for a second just so I can show you why the numbers are so disparate. Diving deeper into Sunbury, you will see that while there's lots of vacant land, there are also various estates. There are new estates, like the one over here, close to the highway, but there are also old estates which sit close to the train station, over here. Some of these have even been subdivided and created into townhouses, but some of the older estates are up here to the north of Sunbury. There are also newer estates coming on in Redstone and elsewhere. To the right here on Lancefield Road. Now, the consideration you've got to look at as an investor is, are you buying a new house on 300 or 400 square meters of land, or are you buying an older house on 600 square meters of land? Now, with PropSpotter, we've always found the value to be on old houses with larger blocks of land, that as Sunbury gets built out, land supply dwindles, and you are sitting on a very prestigious part of property. Now, keep that in mind as we dive further into Sunbury. Sunbury has 21,000 dwellings and a population just shy of 40,000 people. In the last 10 years, the property in Sunbury has gone up 89%, and the last year only a measly 3%. However, again, pockets within pockets. We'll talk to that a little bit further down the track. Rent has also gone up 50% over the last years, and median rent currently sits at $490. Now, what's interesting about Sunbury is really the ERSAD. Now, the ERSAD is a statistic released by the ABS that talks about the wealth within the area. Suburbs like Broadmeadows, Dallas, they have an ERSAD of 1, and the scale goes from 1 to 10. Sunbury has an ERSAD of 6, and a renter to owner ratio of 20%, which is very, very solid. Stock on market is 0.37%, inventory of 1 month. Building approvals, very high at 2.1%, and a vacancy rate of 3.18%. That is purely because of the new builds in the area. Now, that is not the strategy that we're pushing for. We're pushing to get an old house. And we will look through some examples now. You can see here, old houses, 850,000, townhouses for 430, another oldish house, 740,000. But if you look further and further down, there are some diamonds in the rough. Here is one at 13 Darwin Street, Sunbury, on the 18th of October, where a house was sold for $631,000. This could be tenanted immediately for $480 to $520 a week, and is in close proximity to a shopping center here and the main Sunbury shopping center just down the road. There are also other properties available. Here's another one, 3 Hume Street, perfectly livable house that sold for $650,000. Another one here at 620. There are also, on the odd occasion, houses that sell for less than $600,000, and it might be worth our while to just filter through and down to those. Give me a second. Now, through here, you can see that even recently, only a handful of houses are falling in the under $600,000 region. Here is one at 9 Batman Avenue that sold on the 8th of October. This house sits on 464 square meters of land, very close proximity to Sunbury, and has 4 bedrooms. There is also here, this was a particular house I was looking at for myself, but did not end up purchasing. Yes, it is on a main road, but as you can see, it's well designed and well put together, and it sold for $595,000. This house would rent for $570 to $600 a week. Now, Sunbury has many sorts of offerings for each different type of investor. For the PropSpotter investor specifically, we're looking for large land content and decent prices with livable houses. Here is another one on 78 Wilson's Lane. Why is this important? This is important because we're buying in a socioeconomically affluent suburb of Sunbury at a very low price point, and over the years, as the land supply gets built out, we will be in a good, strong position, holding a block of land on an old house that people will be able to afford and pay more money for. Here's another one, sold on 29th of September for $598,500 in Sunbury. Now, if you're interested in finding a property like that, or if you want to chat about whether or not Sunbury or any other suburb is right for your criteria, feel free to book a call in on our website at propspotter.com.au.